Like I'm almost 16 again, laying round doing nothing. Like all my friends, playing cool, don't get angry, count up to 10. Just like I was 16 again.
I was at 79 Westfields Avenue, London SW13, and I actually lived next door to a rag and bone man, but he wasn't actually a rag and bone man. He had horses and carts, but he used to rent out his horses and carts to rag and bone men in the area, you know, all around sort of West London. And when they did Steptoe Son, they went to my next door neighbour to get the cart, and Harry H. Corbett used to come down there. Yeah, I'd wake up on Sunday morning sometimes and hear Harry H. Corbett down in the yard with the horses. it's all purple, because when I got to about 15 or 16, my mum and dad said I could have it any colour I liked, so I had it all purple. And above the bed I had that photo of Lou Reed, Iggy Pop and Bowie together, you know, that famous one. And the reason I know that, I've forgotten it, but I've still got old photos where you can see it in the background. You know, that's how I know all these things. And as you went through the door, the first thing that you knocked the door on would have been my little record player on the floor, you know, which is like a Grundig sort of standard issue 1960s record player. And that was at the foot of the bed, and then there was just like a sort of bookshelf thing that my dad made opposite the bed. And then there was another thing, because my dad's really, he still does it, he's mad on making things out of orange boxes, bits of furniture, and converting spaces in houses into useful little areas, you know. So he converted one area into a thing for me to sort of hang all my clothes up and put a curtain round it. You know, it's all sort of hand built by my dad, really. Generation game. Because when I came home from Chelsea, that was on, you know, at 6 o'clock or whatever on a Saturday. So I used to really like getting home from football and watching that.
Anything particularly about the Generation game that you like?
Yeah, the bit at the end where they had to do the little play. No, I wasn't into girls at all. That, you know, not at that age. I just never entered my mind at all. Because I went to a boys only school. And the girls' school was like next door, and we were like forbidden contact. That was like as bad as not wearing your cap. I think it just started, just sort of people in my class at that age had just started seeing girls, but I wasn't one of them, you know, just a few were. I was really confused at 16, I think, because I was a really good worker at school. I always came top of the class every year, you know. I wasn't really known as a swot, but I just had a really good memory. And then when I got to that age, in the 5th year, I sort of realised that there wasn't any point to that anymore. I don't know, it wasn't just me who realised it, the whole class realised it at the same time. And that's why the discipline went out the window, because the teachers couldn't convince us that studying was worthwhile anymore, really. It's just like we all sort of went a bit mental overnight almost. Clockwork Orange had an effect on everyone I hung about with. It's just the look, it was such an out there look, and it chimed in well with sort of the post-skinhead era, you know, when skinheads had sort of come and gone, and that was like another look for people. The people that had been skinheads were all the people that were dressing up like in the Clockwork Orange with the bowler hats and the boots and all that. It was quite similar, really. In fact, one year at Putney Fair, all the kids from Barnes, all the sort of what we call the hard nuts from the estate, all turned up dressed in Clockwork Orange gear and just started having free goes on all the rides, and no one argued with them. What we're trying to do is to look a lot older than we were. And I think that year was when I first found the first shop in the West End where you could get the shirts without a collar, you know, and I bought the studs and had the separate collar and all that. And that was the look I was trying to do. I had a pair of white spats and a pair of grey spats, and I even went with a cane and a bloody white thing at one point. I mean, it wasn't just me though, other kids were doing that as well. I think it was Bowie and Roxy Music started all that going back to the 40s, didn't they? So it was probably, you know, influenced by all that. I used to go and see Bowie along with like a couple of my mates. We didn't know his chauffeur, but we knew what he looked like and we knew what the car looked like. And I was like cycling through Barnes one day past the studio and I saw the car there with the chauffeur, so I said, is he in there recording? He said, yeah, if you want to get any, you know, autographs, come back at 10 o'clock at night. So I went back with like all my albums and got him to sign them all as he came out, and that was the day he did Rebel Rebel. I said, what have you been doing? He said, I've just been doing this track Rebel Rebel. He said, I've been playing the drums and the bass and the guitar. And I think they must have looped up the drum loop for him to, I don't know whether it made it onto the final version, his drumming, but he was boasting about playing all the instruments, and he was just really friendly, you know, like he had plenty of time to talk. The best one was on a Sunday night, once a month, the youth club at the end of my road, a place called the Annex. They had these hippie blokes that were into soul music, and they came from Brixton once a month to this little youth club in Barnes with all their record collection, playing stuff that we'd never, you know, it's the first time I heard Manu Dibango, you know, Soul Makossa, and that was their big tune down there, Soul Makossa, and Can't Get Enough of That Funky Stuff by Kool and the Gang. It was like, you know, the sort of place where you'd go and like be playing table tennis once up there. This is upstairs, playing table tennis, and a bloody dart went through my cheek. So just to chuck darts at each other down there, you know. So could be a rough place sometimes, but yeah, it was just the one place we could go for nothing, where you could play darts, table tennis, you know, listen to records and all that sort of thing. We got friendly with the people who ran it and said, we want to start a group, and we knew they didn't use it on Sundays. Can we come down and play on a Sunday night where the disco was on the weeks where they didn't have the soul disco thing? So that's how we started the group down there in the same place. But I always regretted not going to like a better going to university and doing like a proper course instead of messing about Ealing Tech like I did, you know. But saying that, I joined the Subway sect and went on tour, so I couldn't have done both. It was like that age I had to make a split second decision. Do I carry on doing a degree, or I'm not going to say at the Clash, oh no, I'm staying at college, you go off on tour. So I was never going to say that, so I don't regret that. I don't really regret anything really from that era.